Okay, Chucky, Season 2, Episode 2. And it is called Chucky Comes for the Sinners. Okay, so before I get started with this episode, I forgot to mention in the previous episode, uh, one thing I didn't like was Chucky's eyes or his face. Like, you see it in the picture here. I don't dig what they're doing there. It's improved in this episode. It's improved. So this one is Lexi, Devin, and Jake are all, getting settled in this Catholic school, church place, whatever. And Lexi gets a roommate who might become important. I don't hate her or anything. And the whole thing is her roommate wants to know why she's there, and it's revealed why this other girl's there. And Lexi runs into her bully she built up the previous episode, the one that made her who she is, and he apologizes to her. But the way he said it was so dickish, yeah. And they're all just getting settled, and then Devin and Jake are like, we're gay in the Catholic church place. Like, what are we going to, This is where Devin shows up, and people some were skeptical or didn't understand why he was back if both his characters were murdered off in the first season. He's back as a whole other character. And if they would act like that he didn't look like, Jake's father and uncle, but he makes the reference, it's like, I like my father, and there's like dialogue between them is father theme. So that. And another thing, for decades, every time somebody brings up Chucky and how that would be in that whole thing, somebody will always say, why not kick him? Well, finally, Devin kicks him. There you go. Somebody finally kicked Chucky. So, also, who shows up are Glenn and Glenda. They built up the whole episode, and they show up at the end. So, and Jennifer Tilly's in this one as is Fiona Dorff. And that's where most of my problems are. Alright? We're back to the church. There's more to talk about there. Chucky's there, and this one's different. Like, he's not trying to murder them. He's just taking their pictures. It's because he's a scout Chucky for something bigger. And the one murder, if we can call it that, is a direct nod to Child's Play 3. When, literally it's the same murder from Child's Play 3. When dude opens up the box and it's Chucky, and Chucky comes to life, and the dude, like, has a heart attack. It's the same thing. Except this time around, better jokes. It's like, oh, but from just looking at me, I'm so flattered. And he just choked after it. It's hilarious. And he takes her picture. Yeah. And there's another nod to Briar Chucky and maybe Color Chucky with the ceiling mirror. The whole Janet Kidder murder and Briar Chucky where Tiffany throws the bottle. There's a nod to that. Somebody has a mirror above their bed. Simple math. So, yeah. And I like that right out the bat, Lexi's roommate sees Chucky moving, and that's their appropriate reaction of screaming. Yeah. And Lexi is just trying to get us to, I'm not feeling nothing for her. And she's all like, nobody knows what I'm going through. It's like, what about Jake and Devin? They went through that with you. And they're there. I mean, and she's still doing drugs and everything. Yeah. So, okay, that's it for this. Oh, right. People are already calling Lexi's roommate Harriet Potter because she has the hair and the glasses and the outfit. She looks like him. Sort of like, what's her name? Moaning Myrtle, but not like that much. And there's a Draco Malfoy reference. So I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I know who Draco Malfoy is. He's like their boogeyman. So yeah. Apparently the symbols were in there for I don't know. But yeah, now on to Jennifer Tilly / Tiffany and Nika / Chucky. Okay, so when we first meet Jennifer Tilly, it's an homage to Godfather. She wakes up in her bed and there's blood, and she pulls the sheet up. Instead of a horse head, it's the Tiffany doll's head. Somehow this was Chucky. Not just any Chucky, Nika Chucky, somehow. And she's screaming, and I'm like, where is she, Jennifer Tilly now? Because I feel like that wouldn't face Tiffany at all. But yeah. And so that, and then this the whole thing, there's this cop who's asking her questions, and I don't know. Like, I'm finally starting to see what people were saying last season where Jennifer Tilly's acting all over the top, and it's not really working. It's not doing it for me. And there's a scene where she's watching Liar Liar with Jennifer Tilly. She's in that. Not a big role, but she's a plot point. It was a decent sized role. And she's watching it and having a great time. Okay, fine. But then she's watching it with Nika, and she's like, that's not you, that's Jennifer Tilly. And that whole, I'm like, after last week, after the dates, I'm still thinking about that. And this scene don't help. I'm like, I've never really liked the idea of Jennifer Tilly being herself in this franchise. Now, she was herself in Bride of Chucky, where she played Tiffany, who's possessing her. It's going to be a bit much for me, And so that, and then you got Nika, who can talk to Chucky in her mind. She's making deals with him or something. Okay. I was wondering how. That's how. Alright. This was not a bad episode. Not at all. Devin Sawa was great. It's good seeing him play a character who's not a dick, But not as much as before. Like, nowhere near as much as before. He's not drunk. He's not, angry and abusive and all that shit. No. He's just a man of the cloth. So, and I like how he is with the kids, stern. But I like he was in season 1. Like, he's not that. It's not a bad episode at all. But I still have problems with it. Like, mainly Jennifer Tilly and Nika stuff. But, I mean, I'm still along for the ride. Just gonna have to get used to this Tiffany and Jennifer Tilly. It's okay. I never liked this. Now come back 18 years later. We're like, now it's a real part of the franchise. Fine. Whatever. Oh, I think Tiffany murders that cop. And as she's scrubbing the mess up. It's kind of like when she was scrubbing the mess up in Bride of Chucky before she gets hit. She's like, except she's not hit. Instead of getting hit while she's scrubbing, Glenn and Glenda show up. So, yeah. They're officially back. No dialogue, but they showed up. This is not a bad episode once again. But I'm like, alright. Okay. Thank you for watching.